Wagwan loves, it's Knowledge Butterflies. Always sending you guys out peace, blessings, love, and abundance. I really hope you guys are having a great Friday, Venus Day, Love Day. Today I did first off my shirt says love is everywhere. But today I did a heart chakra ritual using the love potion number 9. So shout out Khadija Samdi because that love potion number 9, it was powerful. When I tell you when I was sitting in the bath water, it's a red potion. And you pour it in the bath water because if you just pour it directly in your skin or put it on anything, it'll actually dye your skin or dye whatever it excuse me, you put it on. So she had definitely given those instructions not to directly put it on there. Run your bath water and then pour it in the bath water. Um, I also added some dried red rose petals in it. I had a white candle lit, and I had a love song playing, and I was burning a rose incense. So yeah, I had set the mood, turned the lights off, and I did the spell or the ritual that she had. Excuse me. She calls it a heart ceremony. So I did that. And like I said, as soon as I got in the water, I felt this vibration, this really powerful vibration coming from it. That goes to show you, like, when you deal with people who are really tapped into spirit, who really are spiritual people, who realize that they are a soul on a human experience and not the other way around, you actually get some really powerful energy. So it was a great cleansing ceremony and I absolutely loved it. And I really am very grateful and thankful for her. I thank her for serving her soul's purpose, so money well spent. And I've actually gotten to the point where I realize that when I invest in people who I connect with spiritually on a spiritual level, I realize that I'm investing in myself because, we actually all are one. So a lot of us who haven't learned our true worth have a difficult time with investing in others because we don't even realize that that's investing in our own self, especially when you're investing in your spirituality. That makes it even more powerful. However, this video is definitely on the heart chakra. I recorded some videos. Or some messages, some audio messages for myself. Excuse me. I was eating some popcorn. I added some cayenne pepper like I always do, and it really got in my throat. Well, it's all good. So, yeah, I received a lot of downloads today. So I actually had a dream last night, and in the dream, Andre 3000 was in my dream, and he had on this purple hat. So it was like a crown chakra, and the hat that he had on was like those hats that are like some of the Moors wear. Um, so it had like a flat top or whatever, and it was round or whatever. So it wasn't a tall hat, but it was about the height of my fro. And he was like sitting across from the table that I was sitting. He was sitting in a chair, and I remember in my thoughts saying, "Oh, I want to walk up to him and I want to say something to him, but I don't want to invade his space and his privacy." And I've always felt that way with quote unquote celebrities. Like, I'm like, you know what, they are regular people, so I don't ever want to invade their space of privacy if they're trying to have a personal moment. So that's how I felt in the dream. And then I remember when I came back, I went to the bathroom. When I came back out of the bathroom, he was still sitting there, and then he had this rabbit's foot on his left side, and it was like glowing or whatever. It was a really interesting dream. So when I got up from the dream, I woke up in my mind. I was singing the International Players Anthem, which is one of my favorite UGK songs. And at the beginning, Andre's reference. So because it was still in my mind, I was like, about 11 songs, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have to listen. I'm gonna have to watch this video, listen to the song, so I can like get it out of my head, because it was in my head. That led me to like googling Andre, and then seeing that he had been dealing with like emotional and mental issues. Now I already know that he incarnated. His ego is a Gemini sign. So Gemini signs are air signs, which means they're always in the mental, always in the motherfucking clouds, and they're not very grounded if they're imbalanced. And so as I was listening to an interview with him. I read an interview with him. I was like, oh, this nigga really is fucking in the clouds. And he wasn't connected to spirit, to the matter at all. He was only wanting to dwell and ride that spiritual wave. So he was totally disconnected. I saw a lot of imbalances, and as I was listening to the interview, I was like calling out, okay, this chakra's imbalanced, this chakra's imbalanced, and I was like, let me stop diagnosing this nigga. But I definitely, I could see where he had his imbalances and where he really needed to ground himself, and some issues he needed to release because he lost both of his parents, so which is a whole bunch of stuff. So shout out and big up and send nothing but love to Andre Benjamin, aka Andre 3000, from the ATL, hometown, so I have to show him nothing but love. Love, love, love. I love you. I used to have a huge crush on him, and he still dwells in my heart. I feel like we're connected on a spirit level. I can't lie. I feel like there's a spiritual connection. This earthly shit gets people confused because we incarnate in these families. So let me talk about that real quick. We incarnate in these physical families, and the illusion is that this is our true family. And this is not anything disrespectful to your physical families. This is just speaking spiritual truths. Okay? The family that you physically incarnate into, you made a contract with them. And I talked about that in a previous video when I did the chakra spinning exercise. Or maybe it was the X and Y chromosome. One of those videos, I talked about the fact that you make a contract when you incarnate into this lifetime with both of your parents. So the word birth means to bind to earth, and it also bi means two. So when you think about two, it's saying that you are becoming two. You're becoming the left side, your right brain, which controls your left side, is your mother, and the left brain, which controls your right side, is your father. So you're becoming split in the motherfucking middle, and you're battling your motherfucking self when you incarnate. Okay, so that's the flesh. That's what your physical family represents, and they are the point of your physical family is to help you work through your lower three chakras, to work through your root, your sacral, and your solar plexus, because those are the chakras where you carry all of this past life bullshit that you've been holding on to, these past life emotions that you continue to repeat these same cycles because you have not yet come into the realization that none of this shit is real, and that all of these emotions and things that you're feeling is only based upon the fact that you are in a human body. If you had never incarnated into a human body, none of this shit would even matter. None of it would matter. That's why it says none of it will matter, because matter is material, and material is a flesh suit, is an earth suit. Okay, so I just really wanted to break that down. So when we're talking about matters of the heart, and this is why on this earthly plane it's so difficult for people to find true divine love, because to be honest, true divine love hasn't existed on this plane in a very long time, and it hasn't existed because people have been living in your lower three chakras. Until you are able to reach your heart chakra, and then you continue to elevate in your heart chakra, you will never experience true love here. It really don't exist. You're bringing that shit down. All right, you're bringing it from the cosmos down if you are tapped into your true spirituality. So I want to talk about the heart chakra. So we know that the root chakra is the symbol for it. If you look at the symbol or the petal, that the lotus flower that represents the root chakra, it has a square in it. It's a circle and it's also a square. So the circle is, of course, the 12 zodiac signs you keep going over and over again and repeating shit. If you do not, really it goes this way, counterclockwise, but if you do not gain a reign on this fucking physical flesh, okay? And then the square represents the four sides, which is called earth, all right? So the zodiac signs in earth. However, what I will say as well is that the number 4 is also representative of your heart chakra, because your heart chakra is the 4th chakra. So the box of the 4 is actually an imitation or reflection of what the true heart represents, which represents home, and it represents your spiritual cosmic home. It does not represent quote unquote, this physicality that we're living in with a physical earthly family. The earthly family, like I said, is really to help you work through all of your emotional issues so you can move back to your heart chakra, which is the home of all of the melanated motherfucking beings on this plane. We vibrate higher when we are actually living in our heart chakra, when we understand that that's where home is, where your heart is. That's where that saying comes from. So when we get an understanding of that, then we're able to thrive. But because everything's been upside down and we've been living in matter and not connected to the spiritual, which the spiritual is what emanates everything in the physical reality. So when I talk about the tree of life, and we have the front side, which is the side that represents your ego, it's the light. And then you have the back side, which represents the darkness. It's just called the Kalipoff. Now, think of your higher 3 chakras as the Kalipoff. You can actually think of them as the darkness. And you think of your lowest 3 chakras, you can think of those as the ego, or what they call the light, which is really the faux light. It's a fake light. It's like that sun that comes up every single day. That is not the real sun. The real sun dwells within you. It is your soul. Okay, that is an imitation of what you truly are. So when we're dealing with the heart chakra, we're actually dealing with where your soul feels the most at peace, where it's meant to reside. Okay. And I also had an epiphany that the heart chakra, with it being an acronym, with Earth being an acronym, you know what I'm saying, or a pseudonym, or whatever, not pseudonym, but being not even an acronym. What do you call it when the words get jumbled, guys? Right now, it's not at the top. Basically it's a play. Earth is a play on the word heart. All they did was take the H from the front and move it to the back. So, and the reason, if you think about it, that makes sense, is that's because the heart has become the last thing that niggas think about. Niggas are so focused on surviving this rat race, so focused on money, so focused on sex, so focused on all of those things that don't even matter, because matter doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Don't really matter, because you're living in an illusion. Illusion is anything that's temporary, because the soul never dies. So that's the only thing that's actually real. Anything that can quote unquote die, or anything that won't exist anymore, is actually an illusion. The only thing that will never ever go anywhere is your soul. All right. So anywho's, this video is about the heart center matter, your heart, your soul, and the number 4, and how that all ties in with one another. So also I want to talk about the apocalypse. So I was watching a Universal Frequencies video, and he was talking about, him tuning into Netflix, and him noticing that they have a lot of shows and things going on talking about apocalypse. And it's funny, because 2 months ago I realized that late December, early January, I was like, damn, like everything, because I had watched the Umbrella Academy, I had watched Raising Dion, I had watched quite a few shows and movies, and all of them, that same thing of apocalypse kept coming up. And then, so what hit me, and the revelation that came to me, and revelation's the perfect word, was revelations in the Bible, and was the apocalypse of the Bible. And I remember Dr. L.M.L. Bay talking about the apocalypse is a spiritual thing, right? And he broke it down and broke down the Bible, but right now that's not coming to mind. However, what came to mind for me is that we are in an apocalypse of the heart. All right, the affirmation and confirmation, I should say, the confirmation of that was Bobby Hemmett. Bobby Hemmett did a video back in the early 2000s. Could have been earlier than that, but I think it was the early 2000s, where he was talking about there's going to come an apocalypse of the heart. So this nigga was really, just prophesizing shit. That's why he did the work when he was supposed to do it, because he was living that prophet life. He was a messenger. Okay, so he incarnated to give us these messages to let us know what was to come. And now we're in that time. What he was speaking of then, now we're actually in that time. We're in the time of the apocalypse of the heart. And people get scared when they hear the word apocalypse, because they're still indoctrinated with religion, especially Christianity, where they want to give you that fear of hell, and that the earth is going to burn up and you're going to go to hell. So first and foremost, let me tell you right now, you're already living in hell. You're living in hell because we're not on the this earth, or the people on this earth are not on the heart chakra level. Now the earth is moving up. All right, the earth is raising the kundalini, and she's raising up to the heart chakra level because the earth wants to get the fuck out of here. The earth is done, and actually she's tired of all this shit that's been going on. You know, the same cycle of all this bullshit that niggas have been doing. Like, she's really over it. And when you think about the fact that the melanated people on this plane, that feminine and that masculine energy that's represented in these bodies is suffering so much, that means that the earth has been suffering. Okay? Because we are the mothers and the fathers of that bitch. And with the earth and the heart actually equaling one another, because I received an epiphany that the earth really is like your heart chakra. Okay? So the fact that people have not been touching their heart chakra, have not been experiencing divine love and what real love is, we've been dealing with a fake kind of love, an earth kind of love, an ego type of love, which was like, if you're not pleasing me, if you're not giving me what I want, then fuck you. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to say that there are not times when you need to move on from a person, especially if they're abusive. What I'm saying is that if a nigga don't put the toilet seat down, that's not really a reason to be like, fuck this nigga. You feel me? Maybe he just needs to have his own separate quarters, his own chambers. Like there are 4 chambers of your heart. Maybe he needs to dwell in a different chamber, okay? And you have your own chamber, and then y'all come together and y'all have like your own quarters where y'all come together and love on one another to bring down these arguments. Because in ancient times, and that was what Khadijah, Sumdi, and Brother Panic were talking about, they actually do have their own quarters. They do not sleep with one another as far as sleep in the same room. Each one of them have their own room, and that goes back to ancient times because that keeps a happy home. All right. And then also when you come together, that makes it even more special when you think about it. Because when a nigga lying there and he taking the cover from you, and y'all just can't sleep, like it's like the bed is never big enough. You know what I'm saying? That means you should have your king quarters and she should have her queen quarters. That's all that means. But anywho, that's me getting on something that's a whole nother subject. So yeah, it's all about the apocalypse of your heart. So apocalypse, let me share my screen. It's crazy that this thing is acting weird. I'm going to show you what the apocalypse of the heart. So the etymology of the word apocalypse, I want to make sure it's coming up first. I want to listen to music so bad right now. So bad. I have been in a love kind of mood, y'all. And everything has been like love songs and like dancing and fun and just expressing myself and let my heart chakra shine and do a thing, man, You see me? So, anywho's, apocalypse, in Greek, the apo means un, and the other part of that is kaluptin, and that means to cover. So it's to uncover or to reveal, and that's where you get revelations from. Revelations is to reveal something. So literally you're supposed to uncover all these hidden things that have been that you've been burying in your heart chakra, that's been there, that you need to address and you need to confront within yourself. So people are being asked in this year of 2020. 2020 is dealing with the number 4. So we're being asked from our heart to speak from our heart and to be true to our heart. So if you're not being true from your heart, if you're not releasing all of this old emotions like hate and anger and jealousy, envy, if you're not releasing all of these things that are dwelling within your heart, what you're doing is you're creating what I call an implosion of your heart. So where your heart, would normally function properly, or I should say will be quote unquote light as a feather, your heart is heavy and weighed down. Okay. And so when something is heavy and weighed down, just think of it being clogged and the color not being right and it not pumping correctly and not being on the correct rhythm. So you can't create a true harmonic chakra system and mind, of course, if your heart is not light, if your heart is holding on to this old shit. And also if you have a wall up. So another thing is people don't trust. They don't trust nobody. They don't want to get nobody their heart because they don't want to be broken. But that's where the term falling in love comes from, because you're literally falling out of matter. You're falling out of the nonsense, falling out of your pride. You're falling out of all those things that are related to the ego, and you're allowing yourself to be open and free. Okay? You're free falling. You're literally doing that trust exercise where somebody stands behind you and you just let go. That's literally what that is. So, a lot of people don't even like that wordplay because we want to change everything. We get conscious, we get so fucking serious, and we want to change everything. Like, okay, I know the meaning of this word, and I don't want to use it. And I can say that because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to say good morning. We don't want to say hello. We don't want to say falling in love because you don't want to fall. You know what I'm saying? But literally, nigga, we fell into matter. You've already fallen. Okay? So since you fallen in matter, you need to fall out of that bitch. You need to fall back into your fucking self. You need to fall inside of yourself. You need to fall. Because literally, like when I had my dreams, every time I go into darkness, I'm falling. So that right there tells you you have to do some type of fall. You have to fall to get deep into the surface of things. Falling deep into the ocean. Deep into your sea, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so we have got to learn how to get out of that whole I'm conscious, so I have these boundaries. Boundaries get you reincarnated or reincarcerated, whatever you want to call it. Because whenever you have boundaries and limits on something, you're binding and bounding your motherfucking soul. You're not allowing it to fully express itself. We came down here to express ourselves, whether that be twerking, whether that be rapping and singing a ratchet ass song, whether it be watching some ratchet ass TV or whatever it may be. Because guess what? That's what actually grounds you and keeps you from being too spiritual or too caught up in the clouds, too caught up in your motherfucking head that you float away. And Andre 3000 was a great reminder of that, because that's why he hasn't produced music in going on almost 20 years, because he's so far in his head, he don't even see his own greatness. He don't even see that he's a god and he came here to do something that was totally different and to set a new standard in Atlanta. He raised the level of awareness of this city. Okay? So that's why I send him nothing but love, because he needs that he is one of those people who's caught up in other people's opinions, and I can relate because I've been there. I literally have been releasing shit to get myself out of that, because that's what 2018 and 2019, or a lot of 2019 I was dealing with root chakra issues. In 2019, I started dealing with the sacral and the solar plexus. And then coming in 2020, I really started to focus on my heart chakra. So I just saw the elevation of how I was working up the ladder, and I was dealing with issues within myself. And that's really the only thing you can do. Once you focus on yourself, you don't even really care what other people got going on, because you realize that everything in your reality is really only a reflection of what's going on in the inside of you. So if I change what's going on in the inside of me, then the outside of me will change as well. Okay. So anywho's, what I call conscious people who are so serious and who are so caught up in being a certain way, looking a certain way, is when consciousness goes wrong. That's when the shit go wrong, when you don't realize you still supposed to have fun. You still supposed to be lighthearted. You still supposed to be childlike. You still supposed to dance. Twerking is actually ritualistic, because dancing is a form of manifestation. Dancing is a form of being free and letting go of boundaries and connecting with a higher source, because that's the law of rhythm, nigga. That's one of the 7 hermetic principles. All right. So yeah, Black women, really speaking to us as a whole, because we have this wall up on our heart. It's like frozen. And that's really what I say that movie Frozen was about. I'm telling you, she had a wall and a block on her heart, and she had to release that. And once she released that, she was able to connect with her spiritual ancestors, her mother's line, her DNA line, because she had been only around her father's shit, right? The kingdom and shit that he built. But she was able to connect with her mother's line. She actually was able to unite her mother and her father's line, which was her uniting her yin and her yang. that shit was a spiritual story, if I tell you any teen, okay? So, Black women, you gotta defrost your heart. Don't be frozen. Don't let it be frozen anymore. Start defrosting it. Throw the bitch in the microwave. If you so vegan or you so caught up in electromagnetic waves, even though we are electromagnetic, then you go ahead and you can just put it in some hot water and let it thaw out. But either way, bitch, you need to go ahead and release that shit, okay? Defrost your heart, okay? Ice melts, and I posted that as well. Ice melts in my Drake, okay? Stop being icy. Like 1017, icy like there's nobody you ever need. So yeah, that's literally what I wanted to get into. It's an apocalypse of the heart, y'all. We need to go ahead and let go of that shit. Allow your heart to be free, and what'll happen is you'll start to be able to manifest things into the physical that you really want to manifest. Because let's keep it real, we always manifesting shit. We're always creating shit. We are creators. Even if it's something that we don't want to create, we're still creating. All right. So what that 44 and that 444 means, with it being tied to your heart chakra and your root chakra, it literally means the tripling up of your spiritual ancestors. So when you connect with your heart chakra, you're connecting to your spiritual ancestors, the ancestors that you are related to in the cosmos. You have the same cosmic DNA, okay? Not the same earthly DNA, because you'll realize that's why a lot of people, when they get in consciousness, they start to disconnect from their earthly family, because they're like, I really don't have nothing in common with these niggas. Like, I really don't. But when you connect with your heart chakra, you're able to have compassion for them and realize that, you know what? Yeah, we probably are not related spiritually. This is not your spiritual tribe, your soul tribe. However, I incarnated with these beings, these light beings, for a reason, because they were meant to help me grow within myself so I can get back to home. It's like E.T. phone home. E.T. just want to go fucking home, bitch. Okay, and E.T. was brown for a reason, bitch. He wanted to go home. He wanted to connect with his cosmic family, and that's connecting to your heart chakra. You cannot connect to your spiritual ancestors until you connect to your heart chakra, and that's really what this video was about. I think I touched on everything that I wanted to touch on, but like I said, that 444, y'all. The 44, that's the number 8, and the number 8 is a Taurus field. It's also Ouroboros. A Taurus field is also a motherfucking egg. So we got an egg around us. I said before, we are in a cosmic womb. There is more quote unquote space around us than there is matter. We are constantly in a motherfucking womb. We are constantly in a motherfucking egg. So we are constantly being rebirthed. So why not create the you that you really want to create? You know what I'm saying? Versus continuing to create something that does not make you happy, continuing to look outside yourself for someone to make you happy. I realized truly that the love that I was seeking was the love that was already in me. And so all I had to do was connect with my soul in order to experience that love. All the love songs I've been posting on my Facebook have been really me freeing myself. I even posted something that was vulnerable. Because vulnerability is what Black women, what we have not been doing, because we've been afraid to be hurt. But just realize that the love that you give, you should not be asking for anything in return. You should just be at the point where you realize that as long as I am loved, then I'm good. Because guess what? When you are creating love, you're going to eventually get that love back. It has to come back to you. It has to. So coming from a true, like, heartfelt space, that's the only way to really create what you really want in this life, to be honest, and to have it continuously flow into you. So you are a magnetic attraction to everything you want. And I'm talking, when I say everything you want, I don't mean just on the outside. I mean on the inside, you feel fulfilled. That's where I'm at right now. I'm at the point where I'm not so focused on, you know, what man is going to bring me love, because I know that's already taken care of, because I've already given myself that love. So all he's going to be is just an outside reflection of the love that I'm already giving to myself. That's why, and shout out my little baby girl, Malia. She's 19 months, and that baby girl has taught me how to love self so much. She will be the one to kiss herself in the mirror. So I was doing that today, blowing myself kisses and just loving on myself. Because if you don't love on yourself, then who really will? Nobody. You got to be the love. Be the love that you seek, y'all. So I'm going to end the video on that note. I really appreciate you guys for tuning into my channel. And I also appreciate the people who have been subscribed to me for a while. I appreciate, I think I have 207 subscribers. And, you know, that's beautiful. That's the number 9. That's the number of transformation. And the number 2 is dealing with that divine feminine energy, being cooperative, being supportive, and those type of things, which is what I'm doing to myself. I'm being cooperative and supportive of myself. The number 0 is that unlimited potential. That egg, it's the egg, it's the unlimited potential, and it also represents the womb as well. All right. And then the number 7 represents that spiritual, being tapped into your spirit. And also remember, it also is your 7 chakras. So it's your 7 chakras being in alignment. It's literally, to me, like, it's a powerful ass number. And it also actually relates to my father because he was born on the 27th day of his month. So to me, that represents being free. Being free of the boundaries I had set for myself and the hell that I had put myself in mentally and in my heart space. So I really do love you guys. I really do appreciate you guys for tuning in. Shit. Let's let the end this video. One last thing, when coming to the frozen, or actually coming to the wall. And I received an epiphany about Game of Thrones and how, you know, they had the wall in the north. And how that also could be a representation of the feminine energy and our heart chakra having the wall up, because that wall was in the north. And the north represents the woman. The book I was reading, The Celestial Ship of the North, talks about how the constellation, the Great Bear, is, in ancient times, it was considered to be the Great Mother. Okay, the Great Mother says the divine feminine energy. The north represents the mother and the water, and the south represents the father and the fire. So breaking that wall down, even though we didn't want it to be broken down in Game of Thrones, and look what it was broken down by. It was broken down by what? A motherfucking dragon, the Kundalini. The Kundalini broke that motherfucking wall down, and even though the White Walkers was coming in there trying to take over, White Walkers to me could represent like all of that negative shit that you've been dealing with, that you had suppressed, that you needed to let go of. And that's why you put the wall up in the first place, because you didn't want that motherfucker to come, you know what I'm saying, to come back up. But you had to fight it. You had to deal with it. That's what the great battle was about. You had to deal with that shit. You had to literally, like, you know, face it head on and not run from it. That wall could only stay up for so long. So that's literally what Game of Thrones, what that episode meant to me. I actually got that epiphany today, because mine was like, what the fuck, Game of Thrones? Y'all was on some shit too. So like, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys because I did receive that epiphany. But I am going to end the video on that note, ladies. Defrost your heart. It's that time for love. We in 2020. 2020 is dealing with the energy of the number 4, and the number 4 is dealing with your ancestors, and it's dealing with your heart chakra, which is where your spiritual ancestors dwell. So if you really want your gifts of the spirit, if you really want to have your heart's desires, you gotta deal with your heart chakra. Okay, you got to. I do offer free consultations. It's a 15-minute consultation with Heal Soul. And I don't just deal with your heart chakra. I start from the bottom and work myself, you know, way up. I start with your earth star chakra, then go into your root chakra and then up, because we're building something. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to just start here and then you haven't released anything below it, because you need a sturdy foundation. So you can contact me and we can have a consultation. You get a free 15-minute. We could talk about it, as well as I do offer 3 different packages at this moment. One of the packages is dealing with just a 30-minute session. That one's $44, and you'll get a chakra cleansing of 8 chakras. If I feel the need, I'll also deal with 9, which is your medulla oblongata or your cerebellum chakra. Okay, and then the second package is $133. That's 3 sessions, 3 30-minute sessions, and it's dealing with the same 8 chakras, maybe your cerebellum if needed. And then the third package is the 3 consultations, and it's $222. Plus you get 3 coaching sessions where we kind of just converse and we just get together 3 times 15 minutes, and we just talk about your sessions and how you feel and things of that nature. And just know that with each one of those consultations, whether you get the first package, the second, or the third, it will be something that I will make sure that I get an understanding of how you feeling. Because really at the end of the day, it's all about helping people release things. Just like I have released so much oh my goodness, I released so much. I'm a whole new being, so I'm really like the butterfly out of the cocoon. And I'm very grateful and thankful to my ancestors. I'm thankful to my higher self. And I'm really, pat myself on the back for doing the hard work, because that heart chakra work has been the hardest chakra to deal with. I will not lie to you. I thought my root chakra was hard. And then when I did my sacral chakra, start working out, I thought that shit was hard. Same thing with the solar plexus, because the root chakra is dealing with like all of your family bullshit. It's dealing with all the ties to your physical family, the things that really hurt you with them. And then your sacral chakra, you dealing with like why you feel isolated and cut off from people, why you may not be able to feel like you can be in social settings, what I'm saying, you feel uncomfortable. It's also dealing with empaths. A lot of empaths have a lot of sacral chakra issues, like Andre 3000. He needs a true root and sacral chakra shit, and he needs a whole cleansing, because that interview, I just caught everything, honey. But yeah, so that's dealing with your being able to connect with other people, you know what I'm saying? And I had a really hard time connecting with others. Okay. And it's also dealing with your creativity and your fertility. All right. Creation comes from being fertile. So if you're not fertile, you cannot create. And when I'm not just talking about human babies again, I'm talking about create what you want on this physical plane, because everything, your thoughts are your babies. All right. So bringing those thoughts to life, bringing them to a physical life, that's what the sacral chakra helps you do, because it has to incubate. All right. And then your solar plexus chakra is dealing with your willpower. It's dealing with, you know what I'm saying, being able to will things into existence. It's like the magic. It's almost like a magic wand to me. It's like Merlin, like any of the movies dealing with Merlin. That's dealing with because that is the highest vibration or the highest chakra of the matter. That's dealing with being able to be confident in yourself and to shine. You know what I'm saying? So definitely once you start dealing with that heart chakra, you dealing with increasing your magnetism and increasing your auric field, your Taurus field. Of course, your throat chakra is dealing with being able to express yourself easily and effortlessly and not giving a fuck of what anybody else think about it. It's your truth. So it don't matter if nobody else agrees with it. All right. And then your third eye chakra is dealing with being able to visualize and see those things in your head. Those things you want to bring down is being able to see it here first. It's the eye. And then your crown chakra is being able to connect with the cosmos in order to get those ideas, connect to higher frequencies, in order to get those ideas that nobody else has probably done right now. You know what I'm saying? So you can actually not be riding a wave, but creating a wave. All right. So yeah, that's a rundown of those chakras. Oh, and your earth star chakra is like your anchor. It really keeps you anchored to this earth. It keeps you grounded. So when I think of an anchor, I think of like this is a ship, and you might need to dock, so you got to throw the anchor down. You know what I'm saying? Or you can look at it like a hot air balloon. If a hot air balloon didn't have that square bottom part that people, get in, a like little basket part that people get in, then, you know what I'm saying, it wouldn't be able to come down to earth. It will only float to the top. So yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to express that with you guys. You got to anchor yourself and ground yourself in matter. We are in this world, but not of this world. Is remembering that you still in it. You still in it. You still in it. You still in it. So while you in it, you have to be present in it. That's what being present in the moment means. Because if you're not present in the moment, you are unable to create. You actually wind up losing track of time. You actually wind up being like, Not living in the moment means that you're not enjoying yourself, because you're always thinking about what happened in the past and what's going to happen in the future. You're stuck in a time loop. But in order to ascend time, you have to be in this present moment, because you know that the past and the present actually exists right now. There's nothing outside of right now. All right. So my sister gave me a good point by, I think his name was Osho, that time only exists in the past and the future. Right now in the present, that's it. You know what I'm saying? This is the real shit. This is really all that matters. Literally all that matter. All right. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. I know I said I was going to end it, who knows how long ago, but obviously some other things needed to come up, because I didn't want to do another video. I was like, I think I only want to do one video, so let me go ahead and get this ish out now. But like I said, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you new subscribers as well. And if you are not a subscriber, you can click on the button in my video and subscribe to it for more content, for more information. Also, if you want to book a consultation with me, you can follow me on my Heal Soul Facebook page, and the link is in the bio and the description, as well as you can follow me on Instagram. I do post some things on there telling you some cool things to dealing with your chakras and things of that nature. You can also follow me on my Knowledge Butterfly Instagram and Facebook page as well. All right, so we can stay connected. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I do heart you. I do. But I love myself even more. All right, peace. Whew. For some reason, it looks like I gotta exit full screen, honey, because I couldn't even see the end meeting. Peace, y'all.